A leader can make a process worse while trying very hard to improve it. That is the danger of tampering. When every disappointing result triggers a new rule, a new explanation, or a new adjustment, management may be reacting to routine variation as if something unusual happened. The result is more noise, more frustration, and less learning. Instead of what changed yesterday, the better question is, do we know what kind of variation we are seeing? W. Edwards Deming used a simple demonstration with a funnel to make tampering visible. Imagine dropping a marble through a funnel toward a target. Even if no one moves the funnel, the marble will not land in exactly the same place each time. The tempting response is to move the funnel after each miss, but repeated adjustment can spread the results farther from the target. The action that feels like control becomes a source of instability. The management version is familiar. A dashboard turns red, a complaint arrives, or a weekly number dips, and the organization rushes to change the work. Sometimes a real special cause deserves attention, but when the process is stable, the better work is to improve the system, not chase each point. That is the problem ClearStep, a mid-sized B2B software company, faced when its support leaders tried to improve response time by changing the process after every bad day. ClearStep sold project management software to manufacturers. Its support team handled setup questions, bug reports, billing issues, and urgent support calls. Rena, ClearStep's head of customer support, watched one number more than any other: median first response time. When it rose, customers complained. When it fell, the executive team relaxed a little. Monday morning, the dashboard looked bad. Response time had jumped from 23 minutes to 37. Rena opened the team meeting with a decision already forming.
We need a new rule. For the rest of the week, no one works on follow-up tickets until the new queue is under control.
Marcus, the operations analyst who helped the support team study workflow data, hesitated. He had been plotting the daily response time for the past 6 months.
I know 37 minutes looks bad, but it is still inside the range we have seen before.
Customers do not care about ranges. They care that we were slow.
Agreed. But if we change the rule every time the number moves, we may be adding variation ourselves.
That was not what Rena wanted to hear. She was trying to be responsive, not careless. The team had already changed the escalation rule twice that month. One week, senior agents took every urgent ticket first. The next week, new tickets came first. Then the follow-up tickets piled up. By Thursday, response time improved, but reopenings were up. Customers got quick replies that did not resolve the issue. The team was moving faster and learning less. Deming named the trap plainly. Mistake 1: to react to an outcome as if it came from a special cause, when actually it came from common causes of variation. Rena asked Marcus to show the chart again. The bad Monday was not outside the usual pattern. It was an unpleasant point, but not a signal by itself. The system had been predictable for months. Response time bounced within a wide band because of uneven ticket routing, inconsistent urgency definitions, and too few agents trained on integration issues.
So doing nothing is the answer?
No. Studying the system before we change the rules is the answer.
Then what do we change?
Not the queue every morning. We change the conditions that keep creating these wide swings.
That distinction changed the conversation. ClearStep stopped asking supervisors to explain every daily swing. They still investigated clear signals, outages, product releases, unusual customer spikes, but they stopped rewriting the queue rules after ordinary variation. Instead, Rena's team worked on the system. They clarified urgency definitions. They cross-trained agents on integration questions. They reviewed block tickets each day, not as a blame session, but as a way to remove causes of delay. Deming warned they were tampering with a stable system, making things worse. ClearStep began to see that the warning was not about being passive. It was about acting on evidence, so improvement did not become another source of trouble. When a number moves, pause before asking for a story. The story may be true, but it may also be a convenient explanation for routine variation. Leaders create pressure with the questions they ask. If every up and down requires a reason, people will supply reasons. That does not mean the reasons are useful. Build the habit of separating two kinds of action. If the data show a signal, investigate quickly. Find out what changed, whether it can recur, and what should be done. But if the result appears to be ordinary variation, do not treat the last point as a command. Study the process. Look for the conditions that make the whole range of performance wider than it needs to be. This is not a softer form of management. It is a more disciplined one. It asks leaders to stop confusing activity with improvement. Better systems produce more reliable service, lower waste, and more trust. Over time, that reliability becomes hard for competitors to copy. The important habit is humility in front of variation. A leader can care deeply, act quickly, and still make the wrong kind of change. Tampering reminds management to make improvement deliberate enough that the system becomes clearer, not noisier. Tampering is tempting because action feels responsible. But leadership is not measured by how quickly a manager changes something after a bad number. It is measured by whether the action fits the evidence. Some results call for investigation. Some call for patience and system improvement. The discipline is to slow the reaction just enough to see what the system is telling you. Deming's lesson is practical and hopeful. When leaders stop chasing noise, they create the conditions for steadier work, clearer learning, and better performance for customers tomorrow.